Once upon a time in a convenience store, a woman asked, "Which zero-calorie drink will I like more?" The cashier said, "I have a thought. Coke Zero Sugar always hits the spot." The taste made her heart fill with laughter, and with her Coke Zero Sugar, she lived happily ever after. Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, unbelievably delicious.
No trip to the store is complete without the unbelievably delicious zero-calorie taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Pick some up at 7-Eleven today.
We are going to give you some Sharp Player news and notes for the first day of the round of 64 for Thursday, March the 19th, brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com, your sports betting podcast. Joe Duffy, the Lord of the Big Dance here, and we dance. I've got 6 Thursday Big Dance winners up. More than likely probably have another 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 by the time the games tip off. Keep checking OffshoreInsiders.com, obviously, if you've never gotten a pick pack before. Once you purchase, it is good for the entire time that you purchase, so you'll get all added plays. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com. We also have 4 Friday winners up, most likely adding more. 2 of them are Wise Guy plays, strongest play in the handicapping industry. Joe Duffy's picks, www.offshoreinsiders.com. Now those news and notes. Cincinnati and Purdue. The Bearcats played their way into the tournament with a 5-game winning streak to close out the season. Then they had a quality loss on a last-second 3-point shot to UConn in the conference quarterfinals. UC is tournament tested, making their 5th straight appearance. The Boilermakers excel on defense, ranked first in the Big Ten in field goal percentage. Purdue has held 11 foes and Cincinnati 22 teams to less than 59 points. Butler in Texas. Butler's known for being one of the elite mid-majors, but this season they actually tied a school record for the most straight-up wins to ranked teams at 5. They won 5-3 straight up to top 25 squads this year. They're very experienced, with 2 juniors scoring 1,000 points this season, Callum Dorman and Roosevelt Jones. According to Ken Palm, Texas is the unluckiest team in the tournament, ranked 325 out of 351 teams overall in Division I. They did play the 13th toughest schedule in the nation. Butler has the 10th-ranked defensive efficiency, though, allowing 91.7 points per 100 possessions. Wofford against Arkansas. Wofford went 11-5 to the number down the stretch, 7 times covering by at least 8 points. Though the Razorbacks enter on a 3-6 skid, incredibly 4 setbacks they missed covering by 2 or fewer, and a 5th by just 3.5 points. Razorbacks certainly have star power with SEC Player of the Year Bobby Portis. Wofford was rated the luckiest team in the nation by Ken Palm out of 351 in Division I, with a stunning 9 straight-up wins by 4 or less. The handicapping theory shared by many as Sharp is essentially that the luckiest teams will be somewhat overvalued, the unluckiest teams undervalued. Georgia State and Baylor. Baylor is going to travel 921 miles to Jacksonville to just 285 for GSU. Baylor shoots threes well and is among the better offensive rebounding teams. They go up against one of the worst defensive rebounding squads. R.J. Hunter and Kevin Ware, a lot of experts are wondering how much success they will have penetrating against this Baylor defense, which they were going to have to do to be able to compete. To beat Baylor, teams need to be quick and move the ball around effectively and very rapidly and very efficiently. Ole Miss and Xavier. Ole Miss struggles from outside, and it will be costly, a lot of people say, against that Xavier zone. Ole Miss loves to use the 1-3 trapping zone, but Xavier uses it in practice, and there should not be an element of surprise that has benefited Ole Miss in quite a few games this year. VCU and Ohio State. VCU struggled down the stretch with star defender Briante Weber out, but turned it around, winning 4 games in 4 days. Ohio State has done okay against pressure teams, going 4-1 straight up, but looking sloppy in the process. One win, in fact, was in overtime. Ohio State struggled defensively down the stretch with 4 of 6 going over, and all 4 of those by 8.5 or more. Both teams are traveling more than 2,000 miles, but about 300 miles further for VCU. UNC and Harvard. Harvard had success this season because being matched up against undersized teams, but that will not be the case against UNC that has a big presence inside. A lot of the experts that I talked to were wondering, because Harvard is so one-dimensional on offense, this could fall into the Tar Heels' strength. Kentucky and Hampton. Hampton is better because they have more talent than they did in the initial semester. They are actually 8-0 in their line games this year by an average margin of 15 points per game. Support us. Go to the Sportsbooks and Fantasy section. If you play fantasy sports, click on that. You can also follow line moves and a whole lot more. Go to offshoreinsiders.com. Click on that link at the top of the page, Sportsbooks, Fantasy, etc. And remember, for all the best picks, where the sharps are betting, Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.
Pros bring something extra to every job. Now at the Home Depot, they also get something extra. Pro Extra, our free loyalty program built for pros just like you. Members earn perks with every dollar spent, like Pro Extra Dollars, a tool rental credit, and more. New members get $20 off their next in-store purchase of $200 or more just for signing up. Learn more at homedepot.com/Pro Extra. New year, more rewards, Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.